Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller, and today I'm premiering a new ongoing feature called Low Budget Binge. Check out that logo. Spent a couple minutes on that one. I think it's pretty keen. Anyway, while I try to cover most mainstream horror films, I've learned through the years that some of my favorite films can be categorized as low or no budgeters. While some scoff at low budget horror and call them bottom of the barrel, I've often found some true gems among them. I've also found a lot of crap. So consider this ongoing video series my way of sharing some films that may have cost less than your average episode of a TV series, yet have what it takes to deliver in some potent scares. I'll be taking a look at a few indie and low-budget horror films worth checking out in this series. Some of them might be possessing just a couple admirable qualities, or some you might want to steer clear from. Here we go. It took three filmmakers, Alessandro Antonacci, Daniel Lascar, and Stefano Mandala, to make You Die. Full title, You Die. Get the app, then die. I'm sure it sounds a lot better in Italian. It's also a pretty blatant ripoff of It Follows and the J-horror films of the aughts, but it is a surprisingly well-made movie. The story follows a woman who finds herself cursed when someone borrows her phone, downloads a cursed app, and then finds herself followed by the undead only she can see through the viewfinder of her phone. If she doesn't pass the app on to someone else, she dies. I found myself repeating the title of this film with a heavy Italian accent all the way through. It's fun. You die. I didn't really start taking this film seriously until about the halfway point when I noticed that it delivered some really strong dramatic turns and also had some potent scares. The young cast were very talented. Even though it doesn't include the sex, it still functions as a very formidable metaphor for sexually transmitted disease. And it's even applicable to the current pandemic situation we all find ourselves in. The sound design for You Die is top tier, as the app lets out a crackling alarm when it creeps closer and closer to the cursed's demise. If you can look past all the similarities to films that we've seen, I think the Italian thriller is one that might surprise you. You die. Okay, I'll quit now. My apologies to any Italians out there that I might have offended with that. Cry Havoc combines two components that you've most likely seen and heard before. Robert Bronzi is a dead ringer for Charles Bronson, and the director Rene Perez is taking full advantage of that. A while back, he released Death Kiss, a blatant ripoff of Death Wish, and promoted the star's similar looks to Bronson as the main reason for checking out the film. In Cry Havoc, Perez incorporates a killer from his Playing with Dolls series named Havoc. Havoc is a dead ringer for Jason Voorhees if he were to wear a helmet stretched with human flesh. So basically, this is Imitation Jason versus Bronzy as Charles Bronson as he attempts to track down his missing daughter and finds Havoc in his path. Eventually, they run into a reporter who looks just like Mina Suvari and a guy who looks just like Richard Tyson. You know, Buddy Revell from 3 O'Clock High. Oh wait, that actually is Richard Tyson in this film. Cry Havoc is the cinematic equivalent of a kid crashing his action figures together in a sandbox. It's big dumb fun, and I liked it for how hokey and over the top it goes. The final battle with Bronzy versus Havoc is all kinds of goofy, yet undeniably entertaining. Matt Green directs Evil Little Things, a no-budget horror anthology that focuses mainly on killer dolls. The film consists of 2 half-hour tales and a 20-minute wraparound segment. Zach Galligan stars in the wraparound as an abusive father to a young boy who has just purchased a clown doll. Bad stuff happens. The first whole story features VHS's I Like You Girl, Hannah Fireman. And while I enjoyed her performance in it, this story about a leprechaun doll ran too long and really doesn't serve as anything but a low-scale version of Karen Black's turn in Trilogy of Terror, where she ran away from the Zuni fetish doll. In this one, Hannah Fireman is being chased around the house by a leprechaun doll while her kids are out trick-or-treating. I found the mix of Halloween and St. Patrick's Day in this one to be a strange brew. Hannah Fireman is better than this role. I hope to see her working on things bigger and better soon. But it's the second feature that's going to resonate most with folks with doll phobia. This one stars Courtney Lakin, and it's called Be Careful What You Wish For. It tells the story of a scarred woman who is put down and abused by her toy doll. The doll makes sure Lakin's character lacks any confidence at all and disfigures all of her other dolls that she collects. When Lakin goes to a toy convention and sees an old flame, the doll gets jealous and deadly. For the budget of renting a hotel room and a pass to a convention, Director Green is able to get a lot of emotion out of the actors in a creepy mood simply from some askew angles, shadow play, and a very ugly doll. Seek out Evil Little Things for this segment alone. It's a no-budgeter, but I found the second installment to be pretty high quality. Finally, not to be mistaken with the 1988 film with the same name, Scarecrows, directed by Stu Stone, is a decent little slasher about a quartet of kids who set out to party on the edge of a cornfield. When they party a little too hard, they get wasted and lost in the rows, only to be stalked by a psycho farmer with a cowboy hat. He likes to sew the mouths of his victims shut, dress them in rags, and then prop them up on crosses in the middle of his cornfield. While it's not breaking any new ground in the slasher genre, it does take good advantage of the country setting, making the rows of corn ominous, and the threat pretty gruesome. Decently acted, Scarecrow's crass humor made me laugh quite a few times, and the gore is pretty sweet and intense as well. The production values are higher here than I expected, giving this one a stylistic edge over its competition with the rest of the films I've covered this week. Rumor has it that this film influenced a few kids to actually pass away in a cornfield after taking copious amounts of drugs and then getting lost. I don't know if this is true, or it might be just the spin of an overzealous ad campaign, but it does make for a pretty ooky story. Scarecrows is being released on digital download by Black Fawn Distribution this week, and the director Stu Stone is taking over Black Fawn's Instagram account on Tuesday, May 19th, where he'll be talking all about Scarecrows. And then he'll be doing a Facebook Live interview. I'll put the info below for anyone interested in following the event. All these films are available on demand and digital download now. Check out the trailers in the description below. Well, there you have it. 4 little films that could very well give you the creeps. I'll be back soon with more reviews of both high and low budget films. Let me know what you think of the low budget films down below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And ring that bell for notifications of when I post my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed. You're doomed. Live the life that you are meant to be. Live inside